Subscribe to the channel to regularly receive the latest videos from YouTube. Goo Car RW.
Genesis G70 review. Hyundai's 3 Series and Giulia rival driven? I'm still not clear on what a Genesis is, though. In the beginning, there was Hyundai, and then Hyundai begat a luxury offshoot called Genesis after earlier success building a massive barge called the Equus. It's just like when Toyota created Lexus and Nissan dreamt up Infiniti. Genesis, meanwhile, has been working its way down the posh saloon-sized chart, selling 150,000 cars in 3 years along the way. First we got a G90 S-Class and 7 Series rival, then a G80 E-Class and 5 Series rival, and now the G70 has arrived to complete the Genesis triple threat. The marque has set deep roots in its homeland and the US market, and has won big on customer service surveys. So, the G70 is the classic move to snare younger, less wealthy buyers. Now the bedrock is steady. Okay, got it. What has the G70 got? Well, going for it. A platform shared with the reasonably talented Kia Stinger for a kickoff, which means short overhangs, a stiff body, either rear or four-wheel drive, and the option of a 3.3-litre V6 turbo sport version with 367 bhp and a top speed of 168 miles per hour that makes it faster than an M3, all out. It'll knock off 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds along the way. Like the Stinger GT then, but this isn't supposed to be a sporty Audi S4 rival. That's Kia's job. Genesis is aimed at being far more refined and techy, which they might have overdone a tad. Really? What's it packing? On Korean market versions, everything from a pop-up pedestrian-friendly bonnet and automatic highway driving assistance galore to the best ergonomic gimmick we've heard of in ages. Instead of setting the seat and steering wheel positions with different buttons then saving them to a memory button, the G70's smart posture function asks only that you tell the car your height. It'll then marshal the seat, steering wheel, mirrors and head-up display to a preset position that ought to perfectly match your body shape. Clever, if your G70 is destined for a household or workplace with drivers sized like the evolution of man chart. You want more? How about launch control? No, not just for the Turbo Sport V6. The 248 bhp 2.0-litre petrol G70 has getaway mode too. So does the 200 bhp 2.2-litre diesel. All versions also score apex-seeking torque vectoring. And a proper mechanical limited slip diff. I'm not joking. Can you guess which German racetrack the G70's been putting the hard development yards in around? So is the G70 much cop to drive? There's plenty about the G70 that makes it feel credible and properly sorted, but it's not the Nürburgring breeding that leaps out at you. It's the refinement. Besides an Audi A4, no small saloon hushes upwind noise this well, and at a cruise you could fool yourself into thinking it's electric. The drivetrain is silent. If you want it to make noise, it'll make a good one. The turbo V6 rasps as it revs freely towards 6,500 revolutions per minute, at which point, like it or not, the 8-speed automatic gearbox will upchange for you. There's no defined manual mode, but clicking the wheel-mounted paddles gives a temporary override. Left to its own devices, the transmission is logical and smooth, and quick enough if the G70 is aiming to match the claimed 4.7 seconds 0 to 62 miles per hour time. It feels properly punchy in the open flow of Seoul freeway traffic. No mean feat, given the all-wheel drive variant weighs a hefty 1,820 kilograms. Does it look and feel suitably watch out, Europe inside? Tell you what, someone at Genesis has had a sit in a Bentley Flying Spur recently. They've observed the winged steering wheel emblem, the diamond quilted seats and metal rimmed switchgear and thought yes, we'll do. All of that. The G70's cabin is tightly put together and it's laid out with a very Germanic logic. 3 guesses why. There's plenty of plastic doing its best impression of knurled or brushed metal, but the leather is supple and smells more expensive than we're used to in Korean cars. It'll struggle as a chauffeur option. There's little headroom in the back and not enough for twiggle space if the driver has their seat set low. Odd, for a car that's about 60mm longer and 40mm wider than a 3 Series. Back in there, front. The graphics are sharp and there are about 400 menus and displays to discover. There's a G meter and lap timer, for instance.